the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. It is October 21st, 2024 at 5 p.m. and it's time to call the meeting to order. Ms. Jones, roll call, please.
Mayor Barnett,
Present.
Mr. Austin.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Let's all stand for the pledge, please.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Is there any announcements or public comments that does not pertain to the agenda? Seeing nobody move forward, we will close that segment and go on to consent agenda.
Move to approve the Board of Works minutes from 10/7/24 and also the approval of claims.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
There isn't any old business. We'll go right into new business. Request approval and execution of change orders 2 and 3 for the East Jefferson Street Sidewalk Project. City Engineer Mark Richards.
Thank you, Mayor. The first change order is for a reduction or a change in vegetation that was installed on the project. It called for a lot of sod area, and there was concern that some of that may not survive just because of the small width that was going to have to be installed. That was changed to mulch seating. There was a reduction in cost on that of $2,984.35. Change order number 3 is an increase. That increase is $2,841.02. That is for some additional milling and patching in the vicinity of ADA curb ramps on the project. There was some problems with pavement crumbling, and so we had to go in and do some additional saw cutting and patching to correct that. Those two change orders are roughly a wash. Actually, it's a little bit in benefit to the city. Change order number 1 on the project was about $4,671. So since this was a wash or a little bit less, the total amount of the change order so far is $4,600 roughly. The project is funded by the RDC, and the RDC paid the local match on the project of a little over $50,000. And typically on these NDOT projects or federal aid projects, we pay that local match. NDOT kicks in the balance of the project funds. And then at the end of the project, there's an accounting done to see whether the project went over budget or was under budget or on budget. This is going to be, I'm told, about $30,000 to $40,000 under budget. So even with the change orders that we have on the project so far, we won't have to send NDOT any additional funds. We expect to get a refund of 20% of that $30,000 to $40,000. That would happen once the final audit's done, and that typically takes anywhere from 5 to 10 years to be completed.
And the reason we're looking at 20% is because it was an 80-20 match. Is that correct?
That's correct. It may be a little less than that because we actually did get quite a bit more than 80% on this project. So we paid about $50,000 of a $1.15 million project. NDOT was very, very generous to us on this project.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation, Mark.
Move for approval and execution of change order 1. Oh, sorry. Change orders 2 and 3 for the East Jefferson Street Sidewalk Project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item, request approval and execution of change order 1 for the 2024 alley reconstruction project. City Engineer, Mark Richards.
Yes, Mayor, this change order is also the final change order. It's for adjustment of final quantities, and we added some milling, patching, and surface overlay on Harriet Street as part of the project. The initial project price, contract price was $267,030. The cost increase due to this change order is $41,994.02, which is about 15.7% of the original contract price. We're well within our 20% maximum change order amount. And the new contract price with the change order is $309,024.02.
And I don't think I personally don't have any questions on this one. I think our contractor did a great job in doing the work, and I'm surprised they hadn't billed us before now.
They typically wait till toward the end of the year to send out their invoices for some reason.
And just for the record, these funds will come out of the Board of Work 400 series.
Move for approval and execution of change order 1 for the 2024 alley reconstruction project.
Second.
And I would like to make an addition, ask to have an addition made to that motion that you authorize the mayor to sign on the board's behalf.
I'll add that the board authorizes the mayor to sign on behalf of the board.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item is going to be Matt McElroy. Request the following subdivision performance bonds be accepted for Kingsbridge Section 2, Assistant City Engineer.
Thank you, Mayor. This is for the Kingsbridge Section 2 Housing Addition on behalf of Platinum Properties Management. We have 2 performance bonds. The first one is number 5769465, and that is for earthwork within a regulated floodway limits for the amount of $20,496.00. And then the second one is performance bond number 5769468 for erosion control in the amount of $105,576.00.
I'll move to approve the subdivision performance bonds be accepted for Kingbridge Section 2 as presented by Mr. McElroy.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item is also Matt McElroy, acceptance and execution of the following documents related to the Kingsbridge Section 2 Sanitary Sewer Service Special Agreement, Earthwork and Paving Inspection Services Agreement, Storm and Sanitary Sewer Inspection Services Agreement, Assistant City Engineer.
Thank you. Yeah, this is also on behalf of Platinum Properties Management Company for Kingsbridge Section 2. These are our standard forms for the connection to the sanitary sewer, as far as the sanitary sewer service special agreement, and then also the earthwork and paving inspection agreement and storm and sanitary inspection agreement.
I don't have any questions. Kenny, any questions?
I don't have any, Mayor.
I'll move to accept and execute the following documents related to Kingsbridge Section 2, the sanitary sewer service special agreement, earthwork and paving inspection service agreement, and storm and sanitary sewer inspection service agreement.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Okay, under other business, the 2025 City of Franklin Redevelopment Commission Annual Spending Plan, Community Development Director, Krista Linke. And Krista, before you start, I just want to say thank you for working on this. It is a moving target, so it's kind of like the comprehensive plan. It is something that you try to go by with guidelines, but you don't necessarily look at it as the Holy Bible, so.
It is a spending plan. It is just a plan. So an estimate, I can't foresee into the future. If I could, I wouldn't be working here. So this just goes through the different kind of categories of spending for the redevelopment commission. This is a new report this year that is required by the State Board of Accounts. And basically, it starts with listing the debt payments. So under A on the first page, you'll see the 2015 I-65 TIF bond. So our yearly payment for that is $1,355,000. And then the 2019 US 31 TIF bond, the yearly payment is approximately $590,000. So of the money that we bring in each year, 1.945 is paid out in debt payments. In addition to that, we have kind of a category of capital expenditures. So that includes all of your infrastructure type projects, park improvements, all those kinds of things, personal property. There's a whole list of things that can fall under that category. And so what I did is I used the cash flow analysis that's also attached. That's a report that I put together every month for the Redevelopment Commission. And so there's a lot of projects listed on there. Not all of them are paid by the Redevelopment Commission. Some are grant dollars, some are other government entities if we've partnered with them. The Board of Works is listed on there, and the Edit Fund is also listed on there. So just took an average of that amount to plug in for those types of projects. And then there were other categories listed. Contributions to local economic development organizations. So I plugged in $250,000 there. Nonprofits, $250,000. There isn't really a lot of guidance on that. Professional expenses, we usually budget through the Redevelopment Commission about $50,000 a year for legal and financial plans as well. So you can see the total amount being spent is $5,595,000. If you add the two TIF districts' revenues together, the total amount is $5,486,000 that we estimate to bring in based on what our tax receipts are for this year. And so, obviously, that's more than what we will bring in next year, but we also we'll be starting the year with a balance in both of those accounts, a small balance. So that's why that full amount has been allocated for that. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
So one question I have, Krista, just to clarify for the audience, the reason we do this, there's a new state statute that has us put this out every year that
Yep.
just started this year, correct?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And we were provided the category concepts that we were,
Yeah,
to
this is
include, is that
a
correct?
form
Yes.
straight from
they
the state.
they tell us what they
Yeah.
want us to show.
So Jan will have the joy of uploading this to the Gateway once. So it has been reviewed and approved by the Redevelopment Commission. I don't need to necessarily vote on it. Just since it's something new this year, I thought it would be beneficial to share with the Board of Works and then also the City Council.
Thank you.
And on down, and you may have hit on this, the future projects, you want to talk about that just a little bit? We talked about future stuff, just to be transparent, put it out, stuff we're working on, talking to, maybe 2 or 3 years out, but we're thinking ahead.
Yeah, just trying to plan cash flow wise to see where we would be able to get projects done and what accounts could pay for them. If you look at 2024 is obviously, we're kind of in the last quarter of that, so you'll see what projects have been approved and where those are being paid for from on the first page of the cash flow. The second page is 2025, so these are projects that, to our best knowledge, some of these are dependent on whether we get grants or not. Some of these projects may or may not happen, but based on the information we have today, this is what we think the projects might be for 2025. 2026 is also listed on there. That list is a little bit smaller as you get further out. It's a little harder to predict when these things will happen. And then also 2027, we just have listed the bond payments, and we know we'll have the legal and financial services for 27. But the bottom of each of those years, it does show you what our receipts are. So if you look at tax receipts, The I-65 TIF brings in $4,613,000 in a year. The US 31 TIF brings in $872,000, and then the edit funds are $2,400,000. Those will change as the years progress. They typically grow a little bit each year as our assessed value grows. And then you can see the net cash outflow. So those are the bond payments and any other recurring things that we have planned. I did add a category at the very, very bottom after 2027 for future projects. These are projects that have been talked about at some point, but aren't really happening yet. But there's, we'd like to try to put as much information out there as possible for you all and for the council, and then especially the RDC members, so that they're not surprised with something when it does finally come to fruition, that they know we've been working on it for a little bit. So it's a planning document. It changes every month.
Krista, what is not city money?
So I did have private funds, but then we partnered with Johnson County and Whiteland, so other governmental agencies, and on a couple of projects. So I wasn't really sure how to label that category because every case is a little bit different. Sometimes it's a private developer, so like the Paul Hand Road reconstruction, Malarkey is investing $2 million into that, and we're paying the balance of it. So that's private developer funds. It just depends on the specific project. So that was the best label I could come up with that covered everything that kind of falls in that category. So I wanted people to know that there's a significant amount of money in that category, but it's not always coming from the city. And then
Okay.
grants are another big category, obviously, as well, but that I do have labeled as grants.
Anything else, Tina? You had a...
If the FDC were to get a contribution from the RDC, where would that fall in your?
So that could either fall under one of the TIF districts, the integrated TIF, or the US 31 TIF, or edit funds.
What about in your annual spending plan? Is that under D?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's a good example of a moving target that could change.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, we had 6 applications this month. I totaled those up, and the request for grant funds was almost $220,000 just this month alone. We have some really big projects that are starting. And so there will be, some of those are engineering studies, and so I look for subsequent requests for those to partner on some downtown projects as well. So the need is still definitely there for those funds. And then we just, I was going to mention it later, but 650 Overstreet is our direct investment project through the Franklin Development Corporation right now. So that's not going to be a moneymaker project, but it's going to solve a problem in a neighborhood that's been an issue for several years and is already looking so much better. So
It really is.
just don't go in because the floor joists are not safe. It's posted, but please listen to the sign.
I haven't been in.
Okay,
Krista.
thanks.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, is there anything else we need to know about the plan? I mean, you and I and Mark, we met on this and talked about it quite a
Yeah.
while. There's still stuff out there that we know that needs to be done, but it's probably not in
Yeah.
the plan at the moment. And just for the record, how long has it been since you've asked the RDC for funding for the FDC?
Probably at least 3 years.
It's been, that's what I told Tina.
Yeah,
I thought
I
it
think
was
it's been
at
at
least
least 3.
three, maybe.
And before that, it was, I think, like 200,000. It wasn't a huge amount, and I don't think we got any funding the year before that either. So I think it's been 700,000 in the last, I would say, 6 years total. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, and I think all the
Somewhere around
funds,
that.
I think all the funds have proven to help with the city of Franklin moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that gets lost in the shuffle, whenever the FDC does something, it makes the assessed values usually go up, and that's when the school benefits off of the assessed values.
Right. Yeah, we did a report. I had an intern go through and look at every parcel that the FDC has had project funds, and the return on investment of what we invested based and this is like been probably well, it was COVID, so it was 2020 that we did this report. So I think our investment was, I don't know, it was maybe 4 million, and their return, I mean, it was over 20 million in increased assessed value. So it's definitely having a multiplying positive effect.
And that was, Jeff did that for us, didn't he? Jeff?
No, I actually had an intern do
Okay.
all the parcel research, and then
Okay,
Dana and I put it into a presentation, so,
I remember the presentation.
yeah, Trevor Mormon, yeah.
All right, any other questions, Ken, for
No, just a comment. Krista, good job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
anything else?
as usual.
No,
This
thank
is
you.
information only, so thank you, Krista.
Yep.
We'll go to item number 2, request file liens on unkept property. I will make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Sally, we'll start at your end with department reports.
I don't have anything tonight, thank you.
Okay, that's pretty definite. Mark?
Yes, Mayor, thanks for reminding me tonight before the meeting that we need to address the Graham bypass naming. I've been in contact with Brad, and he said that he believes that they will be done by the end of the week and be reopening or opening up the new section of road by then. We've had extensive conversations, both you and I and along with Joanna, about what to name that new section of roadway. Rather than cause people that live on Graham Road, just south of the new roundabout, rather than cause them to have to change their address, if we decided to name the new section of road Graham Road, then we'd have to change the name of the section just south of the roundabout. So we have decided that the proper name would be Graham Bypass for this new section of road. We have already ordered signs to reflect that. And what I'd like to do is get the approval of the Board of Works to name that section of road as Graham Bypass. And then, Lynn, do we have to take that to the Plan Commission as well?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I thought that they made recommendations and then this board approved it. I think that's the other way around.
Was it discussed at Plan Commission last time?
It was not. It was not.
Okay.
I was there. It was not. Is it, are you thinking Graham Bypass or Graham Road Bypass?
Graham Bypass,
It's Graham Bypass?
yeah. And fortunately, there is no one on that new section of road that would have to be addressed or would have to change an existing address.
My recollection, it's been a while since we've done it, but my recollection is they make a recommendation, the Board of Works finally makes the decision. So what we could do tonight, since we're moving forward and getting it open for people, is the Board of Works could make the decision, and we could ask the Plan Commission our next regular scheduled meeting to confirm. if you
Okay.
want. And that way we won't slow it down.
Perfect, thank you.
You're trying to think how to make that motion, right? I can tell. I can see you looking in the air.
You can see the
eyes.
wheels churning.
Yeah.
Smoke's coming out.
I'll give it a try. So I will move to approve naming the new section of Graham Road, Graham Bypass Road?
Graham Bypass.
Graham Bypass.
Graham Bypass.
Graham Bypass.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
What else, Mark?
That's all I
Matt-
have, thank you.
Matt or Mark, could you put that on the agenda for the next regularly scheduled Plan Commission meeting? We don't have one.
Yes.
It's not critical, but whenever we do have the next one.
Yeah, I will get with Joanne and make sure that gets done.
Thank you.
One of us will.
And Mark, just one question, because I'm asked every day. We're looking at Graham and Paul Hand sometime around Thanksgiving, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Maybe a little before, but Thanksgiving. Yeah,
We'll go with Thanksgiving right now.
okay,
It's always dependent on weather, so.
right. And
yeah,
they are doing pretty good right now.
They are, and the weather forecast is really favorable right now, so I think that we should beat that, but you just never know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Britt?
While I
thought Jones Road would have been appropriate, much smaller sign. We'll go with Grand Bypass. Just going to report to the board that we have our second round of office manager interviews tomorrow with 4 candidates. So hopefully by the end of the week, we'll be ready to make an offer for employment. So excited to move on with that.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Krista?
I had a request for some parking lot spaces to be reserved for managed services partners. They're located at 55 and a half East Court Street. They're upstairs of the beer hall. They're moving their office, and they needed 2 spaces reserved for Wednesday morning. She just got verification from the moving company. They should be there by 9 o'clock, and then she's hoping it'll be less than 2 hours. So I saw the signs out, so thank you for that, Brett. I did ask her once they were finished if she would go ahead and move those signs just to the corner so that those spaces weren't reserved all day if they didn't need to be, and she said she would do that.
Okay.
We did do the second and third spot just because the first one's a handicap
Yes,
spot. so
yep.
We moved them
I
down.
talked to her about that, and she said that was perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
The only people to complain would be the business owner directly in front of it, and that's me.
That would
so
be you.
That's what I
Yep.
was thinking.
So thanks.
I think it'll be all right.
So I think-
Just a
I
few
think we-
hours in the
I think
morning.
we need a motion to stay consistent on that one as well, correct?
Yeah, I was just curious, it's 2-hour
spots
parking
on East
anyway,
Court Street.
but are they parking parallel? Is that it? Is that the reason you reserved?
They have a larger truck, like more of a, not a full-size moving truck, but
So they need 2?
they just wanted to be able to load in and all that kind of thing, so, yeah. A lot of boxes.
So I'll make a motion to approve the 2 reserved spots on Wednesday morning from 9 to 11 at 55 and a half East Court Street.
Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Rick?
I don't have anything tonight, Mayor.
Krista, I'm sorry. Did you have anything else? You probably
I
don't.
did, not really, but I am presenting the City Council Ordinance 2408 tonight about the edit funds. Not that I need to do that to you all, but just so you know that we're going to do this year, instead of a 2-year plan, we're going to go ahead and make it 3 years. There's no maximum number of years that you can do that I have found, but there is a minimum of 2 years. And so it just seemed like now that we're kind of past the first round of this, we know what we're doing a little bit more. And so we may increase that as the years go on. But for right now, it'll be 3 years. So from 25 through the end of 27.
Okay. Anything else, Krista?
No, I don't have anything else.
Rick
Thank
has
you.
already said he doesn't have
good.
anything tonight.
you.
so.
Congratulations, Krista.
Sherry?
I don't have anything tonight, thank you.
Joshua? Chief Joshua?
No, sir, I don't have anything tonight.
Chief Kirby?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Rick? Rick, did I say Rick?
Yeah.
Chip?
It's Chip, that's okay.
Trying to get Rick to say something.
He never does. Halloween Town's this weekend, Saturday, so that's trick or treating with trunks. I think we had over 36 or 40 last time I looked. It also includes a lot of businesses downtown will be open for trick or treating as well. If you recall, we were able to reschedule some stuff from the Fall Festival. One of the big ones is the Dotson Derby that everybody loves to watch the Wiener Dogs. They're at 2:30 at the amphitheater. Sammy Terry will be down there, and we're also able to reschedule Corey Cox, which is a concert that we'll have from 6 to 8, and he's country before anybody asks me. That's all I had. Thank you.
Okay.
And what was that, what date?
This Saturday. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Chan? Okay. Tina?
Nothing.
A couple things. Went to the Porchtoberfest music that was downtown this weekend, and it was a blast. There was a ton of people down there, and what a huge success. Secondly, I got a text this morning from a gentleman that lives across the street from the old Elks Lodge, stating that he had woken up again for the 3rd time from a Rumpke trash collection agency at the mutual parking lot at 5:40. So I don't know what time Rumpke is supposed to start picking up trash.
I don't know what the ordinance says, but we can look into it.
Appreciate it. Just want to bring it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
and
all I got.
I think we did look into that once and sent some emails and,
I think we did, Mayor, you're right, but they just continue to do it.
okay, thank you. Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
Ms. Gray?
No, nothing.
Okay, I don't have anything as well. Just want to thank everybody for all the good work you do for the city of Franklin. Thank you. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.